Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the best 15 brawlers to max out for the season in Brawl Stars. So there shouldn't be any more balance changes until the next update, which will be at least 2 to 3 weeks away. So this is like a confirmation of the meta brawlers, ones you want to be maxing out and abusing as much as possible, whether it's trophy pushing, whether it's ranked. These are going to be the best 15 to max out currently. So starting off the top 15 ranking with Cordelius, and he's one of my favorite brawlers in this meta to use, but also I have such a tough time facing off against him because he's just a damage machine. A couple of updates ago, he received a big buff to his main attack damage, and that made him just rip through everything. So right here, you can see his best build, but I'll go through his build here, and both gadgets are really good. If you're facing off against tanks and assassins, you want to use Mute, the Poison Mushroom. If you're facing off against pretty much anything else, a Jump gadget is just better. It just pairs really well and really good to surprise the opponent. So in terms of star powers, combo shrooms is going to be by far a better option because the extra damage actually allows you to charge up your super much faster. In tougher matchups, you can use second star power, but yeah, and in terms of gears as well, damage and shield are going to be your best friend. But with Cordelius, you guys know he shuts down everything, and because of his damage buff, he rips through every single brawler he comes across, which is just crazy. He's great on pretty much every single game mode, and if you're looking for a counter specific to aggressive brawlers, you know, kit compositions, Cordelius is there. Countering Chuck and Heist, Cordelius is there. But he also can counter other brawlers like throwers and snipers with his jump gadget. And like I said, once he gets within range, he will just delete everybody in a 1 versus 1 thanks to his damage. Next brawler on the list is Mina, and you guys should know by now, Mina is absolutely broken. She's actually pretty hard to use for the casual player base, so make sure you're watching my Mina guide if you haven't already, because again, once you learn the basics of her, you should be good to go. So in a pro's hand, Mina is probably the best brawler in the game, and that's just thanks to her insane super charge rate. She can charge super within basically 3 shots, and then you pair that with the gadget that gives you infinite super back. It's just crazy. So here's the best Mina build on your screen right here. The thing about Mina is that she's got 2 really good gadgets and 2 really good star powers, so I wouldn't be surprised if you could use both. But basically, if you're facing off against tanks, you want to use Kapower because it enables you to cycle through super. Most pros actually use the second star power, Blown Away, but I really like the healing as well because you can actually get healings from the pet. It depends what type of matchup you have. So basically, the best one is going to be probably Windmill, and then the second star power damage and the shield gear with Mina. But you guys should know with Mina, the reason why she's so good is because she's basically an assassin and damage dealer put into one. She can literally go through the map with the main attack. She dashes every single time she uses the main attack, and the damage in the third attack is absolutely broken. But by far the best thing is her super. Her super is just so it's just so disgusting. You can just root people in their spot. You throw them in the air, they just don't stand a single chance, and you can chain it like Mortis bats. So yeah, the reason why Mina's just so good for pressuring, and if you can waste a lot of opponents' ammo by just popping the Windmill gadget. It's literally a buster super in the form of a gadget, which is just completely broken. So yeah, Mina's usable everywhere. Learn how to play her, and she's literally just free elo. The next brawler you must max out in this meta has to be Finks, and thanks to his hypercharge, which isn't anything crazy, but Finks has just landed in a really good spot inside of the meta. So if you're looking for the best hot zone brawler, well, there's Draco, but then there's also Finks. So Finks is just so good into so many different brawlers thanks to his back to the Finks 2 gadget, as you can see by the best build on your screen right here, and then the first star power as well. The reason why the first star power is so good and every single pro uses this star power is because it's a great counter to some assassins and high mobility brawlers. So think of even like Mina, think of Kaze, think of Kenji, Mortis, a few others as well that I probably forgot about. They use their main attacks to obviously go around the map and be mobile. Well, this star power stops them in their tracks and just allows you to just counter him a little bit easier. Also, he's a pretty good damage dealer. He's not like crazy into tanks, but tanks will feed him super and hypercharge. He's just got good matchups in a lot of different situations. He's also good as like a gem carry and gem grab in a few situations like gem fort. He can be usable in Brawl as well. He's just a very versatile brawler. The more open the map, the better it is for him. He's not anything crazy broken, but he's just so versatile. Before we get into today's video, I want to point you over to an amazing video I was on over on the Tribe Gaming YouTube channel. 20 huge creators battled it out in the Star Survivor, battling for $10,000, and you best believe your boy locked in. This game really required both in-game skills and out-of-game skills, like social skills, which sadly, I don't really have the skills in both of these. This challenge really tested everybody, and it even brought a lot of creators to the brink, even resulting in some creators breaking down into tears. Personally, it was the most fun I've ever had making a video, and I proved myself myself wrong in so many moments. It was just such a grueling experience. There was so much drama, backstabbing, there's lots of strategies going on in and out of the game. Everybody was truly tested to the limits. But thankfully, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 really came in clutch thanks to its Snapdragon 8 Elite processor. It allowed me to stay locked in thanks to its insane power and speed, and it's also paired with a 6.5-inch display, which of course nobody was beating me on this device. There were so many funny moments throughout this series, but one of my favorite moments was trying to convince Corey to vote for me, and I was trying to pull out everything. I was even trying to blackmail him. You know how it is, Corey. You've known me the longest out of everybody.
That's crazy.
You've been to my wedding, brother.
Oh my god.
So make sure to check out the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 using the link in the description, and to also check out this series over on the Tribe Gaming YouTube channel. You definitely won't regret it. Next probably must absolutely max out this season has to be Kaze. So we've been talking about Kaze since her release. There was a little brief period where everyone was unsure how to use her. Of course, being ultra legendary, switching between forms can be pretty confusing, but she clearly is one of the best brawlers in the game still. So this is thanks to her build right here. You can take a look on the screen. So her build, definitely the second gadget. I mean, if you're playing Brawl, the first gadget is maybe better, but everywhere else you pretty much want to use this one because you want to be surprising the opponents in your ninja form, and it's all about cycling your ninja supers. That's where you're going to be dealing the most damage. That's where you're going to be cycling through to your hypercharge, and the ninja hypercharge is by far the most broken thing. So make sure to abuse that, and she's obviously good on pretty much every single game mode. She's going to be better on like gem grab or just maps where you can pop it in and out of bushes and just sneaking up on the opponents. Basically, just think of a more advanced Leon. Like, you can just press invisibility whenever you want, essentially. So use your geisha form to get into position and get close to the bushes, and then when you're in a bush, pop your gadget and just turn invisible and just destroy everybody. Damage and shield, of course, are going to be just really good with assassins. Then star power, I don't think both star powers are like pretty meh, but one star power allows you to go invisible for longer, so of course you really want that. So Kaze, you guys know, it's just broken pretty much everywhere. Make sure to watch my guide if you're unsure on how to use her, but yeah, she's insane. Next brawler must max out for this season has to be Kenji. So Kenji is still just wrecking the meta, and that's thanks to his hypercharge. His hypercharge is absolutely done broken. I'm hoping they fix this rather than keep nerfing the hypercharge rate, because it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Since its release, it was probably the most broken hypercharge that's ever been released still, which is just crazy. So in terms of his build, then it's always going to be the second gadget and the second star power. The second gadget allows him to heal, especially when he takes a lot of damage quickly. You can pop that heal, and then of course he's got his heal just through his kit, through dealing damage. So it's just a lot of healing in terms of Kenji. His star power allows him just to tank a lot more in that 1 versus 1 after 5 seconds of not taking damage, so really good. And just go damage and shield with Kenji, because the damage gear allows him to heal more thanks to his healing trait. So with Kenji, you can pretty much again use him everywhere. He's great in gem grab, he's great in Brawl Ball. He's this turnaround brawler where he's going to be really good in his normal form, but it's all about trying to build that broken hypercharge, because once you build that broken hypercharge, you'll get 2 or 3 kills with ease, and you'll just change the game however you want. So make sure to abuse that. Kenji is so annoying in this meta. Next brawler must absolutely max out for this season has to be Lily. So Lily, again, is just so completely broken in terms of her gadget and star power. Those are the things that you want to be abusing the most with Lily. But the reason why she's so good, you take a look at this build again. Vanish, we spoke about it since the release. It's still utterly broken. The best way to use Vanish, you can use it aggressively, but the best way to use it, and how the pros use it as well, is making sure that when you've got your super, I mean, for the first time you use it, you might want to just use your Vanish gadget to get your first super, but every time you want to use your super and then use gadget as late as possible to save you and just to annoy the opponents even more, and especially to waste opponents' utility. So wasting supers, wasting hypercharges, you can just pop your Vanish gadget and you're completely safe. It's absolutely broken. It's hilarious when you're using it, but broken when the opponent is using it. In terms of star power, you want to use one that gives you extra movement speed. This just allows you to get in position easier. It allows you just to farm your super from your charging circle a lot easier as well, and just get within range of the opponents, and then damage and shield gear with every single assassin pretty much. And the hypercharge is completely busted. Pretty much you're never going to miss that hypercharge thanks to the added projectile speed that they have with the hypercharge is just crazy. And in a 1 versus 1, thanks to the hypercharge stat buffs, she's just going to beat everybody. You want to be playing her in gem grab, you want to play her in heist, in a few different situations to counter the squishier brawlers. The squishier the brawler, the better Lily will counter them. Next brawler must absolutely max out for this season has to be Byron. So Byron is completely broken inside of this meta. Well, there's some counters to him, but then he can counter his counters for his hypercharge. So we'll go into that in a second. So in terms of his best build, you see on the screen, booster shots is going to be by far his better gadget. The reason being is because it allows him to defend himself against those assassins and aggro brawlers, which people are going to be picking to counter Byron. So the Lilies, the Morpheus, the Kenjis, you need this. And booster shots not only defend yourself, but it charges up your super quicker, which allows you to charge up your hypercharge even quicker. You want to keep this cycle going with Byron, so the hypercharge is going to be the thing that's changing the game. Malaise is by far your better option if you're playing hot zone, or if you're facing off against like a Ruffs or a Tara or anything with pets, then injection is going to be good, but Malaise is so good and definitely against a lot of the meta brawlers. So gears as well, damage and shield can never really go wrong. So with Byron, it's all about the hypercharge, guys, because he has one of the easiest main attacks to hit. Just you got to definitely make sure you're still healing up your teammates, but make sure you're charging up the hypercharge as much as possible. You can play him in bounty, knockout, probably avoid heist, but he's still usable if you're like using it to heal up an assassin or a tank or something. You've also got gem grab, probably his weakest mode, funny enough, because there's too many assassins and hypercharges which you can't counter. But literally everywhere else you can go Byron, and he's so easy to use. So probably the easiest use brawler right now in the meta, thanks to his broken hypercharge. Next brawler must absolutely max out for this season has to be Jae Young. So he's going to get a hypercharge pretty soon, making him even better. But even without it, he's easily an S tier brawler inside of the meta right now, and that's thanks to this build on the screen right here. So with Jae Young, his gadget Weekend Warrior is completely broken. It definitely needs a big cooldown nerf because the amount of damage you can do is just crazy. Anybody that gets within striking distance, make sure you're trying to conserve your ammo as much as possible with Jae Young, especially if you're up against like an assassin or a tank, because you can burst them down pretty quickly thanks to this Weekend Warrior gadget. You've also got the star powers. The star powers are both pretty terrible, so it doesn't really matter which one you use. But in terms of gears, again, can be quite flexible. All of them are pretty strong on him. Definitely use the shield gear, and then I like health or the damage gear on the side of Jae Young. So with Jae Young, you can use him pretty much everywhere outside of heist because he doesn't have the damage. So knockout, he's really good. Bounty, really good because of the speed. The thing with Jae Young is that he's just such a hard kill, which makes him very good. And you can just safely like engage with opponents, and if you're ever weak, you can just pop into your heal form. If anybody's weak on your side of things, you can pop into heal form, spam them a few heals, and then you have another super which just allows you to go back to your speed form, which is by far the best one, guys, because with speed you can constantly outrange opponents, like I said, and you're just constantly juking out attacks really easily thanks to his literal main attack. So Jae Young is completely broken in his meta. He's insane. Next brawler must max out for this season has to be Otis, and Otis has to be one of the most slept on brawlers in this meta easily. After making a video a couple of days ago, I just know how disrespected Otis is. I don't know why. He got a damage buff and a health buff, and it made him such a good option. Yeah, you can't use him everywhere. Inside of gem grab, brawl ball, even hot zone, he's going to be so hard to defeat because of the amount of damage that he deals. So especially in such an aggressive meta with broken hypercharges, think of Kenji's, Draco's, Otis is one of the best counters to a lot of these aggressive brawlers. So do bear that in mind. Here's his best build on the screen right here. So with Otis, Fat Splatter is going to be really good just to stop the opponents from healing, and also good at scouting on bushy maps. Just think of it of just area denial basically. Star power, of course, ink refills. And then with Otis, I always struggle which one to go on a bushy map. Vision gear is going to be really good for him. Supercharged gear isn't really essential, but you may as well go it. So kind of just go what you want, really. I might even put the damage, the shield gear on him if needed. But Otis, yeah, he's all about countering those assassins and everything else. But he's also got a surprising amount of range as well. So just use him for purely damage. That damage buff was insane. This probably must max out for this season has to be a Bonnie. So Bonnie just still tears up the meta right now thanks to her hypercharge. Her best build on the screen right here. Sugar Rush is going to be really good just for allowing you to push the opponents back, trying to build up your super and just be more of a threat. Sugar Rush is great, and then Black Power, her other gadget, and Star Power are terrible. And in terms of gears, you definitely need the Supercharge gear. It allows you to get super in 3 shots instead of 4, and then it's up to you whether you want the damage gear or health gear. But I like the health gear on Bonnie just because I feel like she's struggling a little bit more in the meta because people are knowing how to counter her in her cannon form. So the health gear actually allows her just to preserve her presence on the map a bit better. and of course she has a lot of HP, so health gear is fantastic on her. So let's talk about Bonnie. Yeah, everybody knows that Bonnie's is still broken in the meta, but it's, yeah, like I said, it's all about the hypercharge, making sure you're cycling through to it as quickly as possible. Bonnie's good into everything. You can use it in every single situation. Her best game mode is highest. You can use it everywhere. It's just a guaranteed kill. You want to make sure that you jump in on the squishier brawlers when you don't have hypercharge. When you have a hypercharge, make sure that you're, or the thing about Bonnie, you want to make sure that you're trying to isolate someone. When someone is completely free, jump on them. Don't jump on like a group of them unless you have your hypercharge, because you will get traded out. So just bear that in mind with Bonnie. But yeah, there's no real strategy. Just play brain dead. Just make sure you get your hypercharge, and then the rest is history. Next brawler must max out for this season has to be Ollie, and Ollie's the most used brawler in pro scrims right now, and that's just thanks to his broken hypercharge. I mean, some people are saying, oh, you can counter it, whatever, but I think a good player, like, you don't even need to be a good player. It's just broken. How can you not say that his hypercharge is broken? You can literally teleport across the map. The jump is just insane, and as long as you've got a gadget available as well, pretty much you're guaranteeing a couple of kills. And you take a look at his best build right here. All Eyes on Me is the better gadget right now, mainly because that's a shorter cooldown, but good Ollie players can really utilize this gadget well, and it also allows Ollie to help himself against some of the bigger counters. You know, he doesn't like it when people are too close to him because he lacks the damage sometimes, so All Eyes on Me can help that, and it makes a really good combinations with his super and his hypercharge in particular. Star power is all about second star power, getting that extra shield, and then I really like the damage and the health gear with Ollie because he's pretty tanky. So yeah, Ollie, it's all about the hypercharge. It's also knowing that hypercharge will take a long while to get, so just try your best as possible to get that hypercharge charged up quickly. But it's all about comboing your super and your gadget, and you're pretty much unstoppable. There are some counters to Ollie, but again, in that 1 versus 1, it's just really hard to deal with a good Ollie player. You can play him in every single mode and map outside of Heist. He's seriously broken, guys. The next brawler must max out for this season has to be Kit, and I don't think it's much explaining about Kit because Kit's hypercharge is completely broken. And yeah, Kit was supposed to be a support brawler, but he's fully an assassin right now. It's hilarious. So in terms of his best build, it's obviously going to be cardboard box. Free invisibility, just allows you to charge your super, sneak in and out of bushes, makes Kit a really good brawler. And of course, star power number 2, because the other one doesn't work in 3 versus 3. And then damage and shield. But yeah, Kit, like I said, it's all about the hypercharge. So for me, the way that you want to play Kit is try and be as sneaky as possible, but also don't just jump on top of someone when there's like enemies nearby that, you know, you're attached. You're literally so vulnerable. Make sure that you're isolating people or jumping on top of people when you know you got a teammate nearby. That's probably the biggest tip for me. Also, what I like doing as well, when I know that I'm guaranteed a kill, so for example there's a Byron there, I know not to jump on top of him. A lot of time I'll actually just jump near him and then swipe and just kill him, because I know that I'm charging up my hypercharge. So that's going to be the biggest issue here. Maybe you guys already know this, but try and build up that hypercharge. It's better when you're just trying to swipe people. So that's why, again, the cardboard box gadget is essential by sneaking up to people and charging that hypercharge. But the hypercharge is completely broken. Now your hypercharge super deals damage. That allows you to cycle through to your next hypercharge super better. So yeah, all about abusing the gadgets and the hypercharge. Next brawler must absolutely max out for this season has to be Gus. Although people definitely play him too much inside of my ranked games, he's still one of the best brawlers in the game easily. So I really like Gus because he's a easy enough brawler to use, especially because his main attack is projectile is just so big. So you see a lot of the noobs just tend to play Gus probably a little bit too much. He can get countered, but I really like Gus. He's in a great spot in the gem grab meta because he's great against, well, he can defend himself against assassins and tanks pretty well, and he's a good counter against other mids as well. So he's good in gem grab. I won't really play him in Brawl too much unless you've got some big damage dealers, because he can get countered, especially on the bushier maps. He's great in knockout, he's great in bounty. I won't really use him in hot zone and high, so at least 3 to 6 game modes he's great. So in terms of his build, I've already put it on the screen, but it's pretty obvious: cookie popper, spirit animal, and damage and shield. I do sometimes use health gear as well on those more longer range maps, but yeah, Gus is just a damage machine. The hypercharge allows him to make so many plays as well. It's just all about farming through to your cookie poppers, dealing as much damage as possible, and always preserving your shield against those assassins and tanks. So yeah, Gus is just a great brawler right now. Next brawler must absolutely max out for this season has to be Tara, and Tara is proven to be such a strong brawler in a couple of instances, mainly inside a gem grab. Like, she's the best gem grab brawler because her hypercharge is so easy to charge up. literally takes 2 supers, and you're just gonna get like disgusting team wipes. And with all of these assassins and tanks carrying the gem grab meta, well, of course, Tara's gonna be really good for that reason. She's also good on quite a few Brawl maps. She can be like used as a good counter pick in like Heist, funny enough, or Hot Zone, but it's mainly gem grab, guys. And thanks to her build, support from beyond is gonna be really good to tank against those sharpshooters, and just really good for scouting bushes or just pushing the opponents back. You know, they're always gonna be wasting ammo on these pets. It always just makes her a little bit more tankier thanks to these pets. Star Power, Healing Shade can get so much value, especially if it's tucked away behind you and your team. I mean, it's not going to be like anything crazy, but it just give you a bit of extra healing when you need it. And then normally the vision gear or the damage gear is good with Tara. So you guys know with Tara, it's just all about this hyper charge. It's literally impossible to miss. It breaks a lot of terrain, and it just allows you to make those game-changing plays. So yeah, Tara is a great brawler right now. So moving on to the final brawler on this list, I have gone with Buster. So with Buster, I think he's got better in this meta thanks to the introduction of Ollie's hypercharge. So Buster, if you didn't know, is one of the best counters, if not the best counter to a Ollie. I mean, Poco's the best one, but Buster's a lot more versatile than Poco. So you see a lot of Ollies in Knockout, Bounty. Well, those are Buster's best game modes because he likes to group up with his teammates on those really passive game modes, build up his hypercharge for free, and then he's really good. So you can see by his build, slow-mo replay is going to be really good at confirming kills, pulling brawlers towards you and interrupting brawlers supers and whatever else. His star power is the reason why you counter Ollie, guys. So Kevlar Vest allows you to not get stunned, hypnotized. So when Ollie super's on top of you, you pop your super. Sometimes you want to pop it actually preemptively because sometimes the Ollie player can pop his gadget. And yeah, that interaction, you guys would have seen it on my streams a few times. But yeah, just make sure that you're using your super to counter Ollie's super. And Ollie, of course, in a 1 versus 1, will never be able to kill a Buster up close. Buster deals way more damage up close, especially with the damage gear popped as well. So literally for that reason alone, Buster is becoming such a strong brawler. He always was like high B tier, low A tier, but I think he's got even better now thanks to Ollie, because you've seen Ollie everywhere. So I'm actually playing Buster a lot more in Gem Grab, in Brawl. So wherever Ollie's good, Buster is a great counter pick. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I thought I'd be a bit more thorough in my explanations today, so let me know whether you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and see you guys next time.